Recently, skywatchers from around the world have been uploading videos. When they looked up, they saw neither clouds nor airplanes, but actual trains suspended high in the sky.
So it said that bells were removed all over the world because the frequencies they emitted interfered with vibrational patterns or frequencies that reptilian shapeshifters relied upon to disguise themselves as humans. People, you see, reptilians use a certain frequency to hide from us, and we can't see past the light, the vibration of the light. We only see 10% of what's going on. There's like a whole shit ton of shit going on that we can't see with our plain eyesight.
These Illuminati refer to their offspring in their publications as their children, their offspring. They refer to your offspring as kids. You have kids because you're just like a goat.
Sheeple.
You're sheeple.
We're being led like sheep to the slaughter. I don't know if you've ever seen sheep go to the slaughter, but they are generally led by a Judas goat. The Judas goat will bring them all the way up the ramp, and right before they drop the trap on the sheep, the Judas goat steps to the side.
Welcome back to The Wizard's Fish. If you're new here, thank you for joining. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so we can help get these videos pushed out to as many people as possible. Shoutouts to Illuminati and my homeboy Matt Lewis. What's up? Viewer discretion is advised, and everything that you've seen here will be for entertainment purposes only. Let's jump into my office and see what's on my desk for today.
You haven't seen this?
That's him!
Parents are a pair who rents. Because you don't own your child, you sign them away using a signature. You signed your nature with a sigil. Sigil is a symbol used in witchcraft. You are born into this world, and the word born comes from barren, which means lifeless, dull, and boring. Then you are controlled by the government, the mentality. They control your mind. Everything physical began as a thought in the thinking mind. The mind is the root cause of reality, so they control your mind, not your body. They do this by broadcasting spells to north, east, west, and south, the news. Then they teach you the vowels in this specific order, A, E, I, O, U.
Yo, that's crazy. I've never heard that one before.
To teach you that you owe them to become a slave. You are weak in the weekdays because you are working. Where you were a king. You are no longer a king if you are working.
Bro. That's crazy.
Then on the weekend, you are weakened from the weekdays. Days is a daze where you are in a state of confusion. The television is used to tell a vision, to program you on the programs. They want you to think slaughter is laughter, hello is hell is low. Words are swords because they mold your mind. They also create three-dimensional sound waves which impacts the fabric of matter. I believe that we were never meant to use words. Language has been manipulated so that we no longer use telepathy because we are all connected on the mental plane. We are surrounded by a sea, a mental ether of thought. We still have telepathic powers which we call intuition.
The programming on this planet runs deep.
Zoom in here. These spires you see, at the top of those are like little praying hands. And inside that tower, I recently discovered there is a secret chapel at the very top of the tower. I think it's like 14 floors up. I'm like so obsessed with this building, you have no idea. My name is True Sundardi. I'm an artist and I live and I work here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Behind me is this very unique Art Deco church called the Boston Avenue United Methodist Church. It's here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's one of a kind. It was built in 1929, and it's an example of an authentic Art Deco building. All of our like big churches and fancy cathedrals that we have over here in the US almost always are referencing a European style, like a Gothic style. But we didn't have a Gothic movement. That's a European thing from like 1200. But the thing that I love about this building is it's the real deal. It's like distinctly American. I'm such a big fan of this building that I decided to put on an event here for the spring equinox. The event's called Equinox. It's gonna happen here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, March 21st, and it's going to be a ceremony of sound and a creative salon, where anybody is welcome at any point to get up on top of the box and share their creative expression. After that, we're gonna have Michaela Young and Ramsey Thornton each play a set in the Great Hall that has this giant ceiling that creates this amazing resonance. And then after that concludes, we're going to move into the sanctuary, which is this giant room that has this incredible skylight on top with this sacred geometry architecture in the ceiling. And we're going to do a special organ sound bath where we're all going to sit as the organ starts in a quiet low hum, playing a variety of frequencies that will eventually build to a big crescendo and blast all of those pipes. One of the best organs I have ever heard. Trust me, I've been to a lot of big churches and cathedrals across the world just to listen to their organs. Boston Avenue is like high on my list. We're gonna come down to a slower, resting tone, have a few breaths, say some final words, and then step out of the building. At 1:30, the sun is gonna be directly overhead the building, which is gonna make it cast no shadow. As an artist, I love metaphor. I love finding connections and things like that. And the whole purpose of this ceremony is to help people have their own artistic awakening. Equinox, March 21st, this year, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Raccoons are not from this world. They're some of the first aliens, raccoons and octopus. Mostly one. Raccoons are all over America, right? Where do they come from? There's no cave drawings of any raccoons in anything.
Right.
They have drawings of dragons across the entire world, and people say dragons aren't real, but there's not a Latin name for raccoon. There's not like another name. Like they just showed up.
It's because they're sneaky. They got the mask on.
No, they came here and they were like, they got food everywhere.
Yeah.
They don't need to take us over until we run out of trash. If we run out of food to throw away, like if we just went to a system where there's like no trash anywhere, the raccoons would come up in their ships like Area 50. Because where's Area 51?
Right. You were saying you've seen pictures of dragons from every culture in the world.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a picture
show
of a
me
raccoon?
A drawing of a raccoon
From China.
Show me a story where there's just like the raccoon and the squirrel. There's none.
They got hands, bro.
They do
They
have
have
hands.
hands.
You're saying they built like spaceships and came here?
Yeah.
Raccoons?
Yeah, they have
It's like
hands.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Why did that come from?
The Galaxy.
Stan Lee based everything else on the truth, right? X-Men is Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, like everything else. Where did this raccoon come from space?
Space.
Name another raccoon that's not from space.
I mean, I'm not arguing with you.
Even the other
I'm trying
raccoons
to
were like
understand.
they're either secret agents.
What?
The government is telling you that raccoons were not supposed to be. They just showed up, them and octopus.
What do
But
we
octopus
do?
couldn't. They have to be in the water.
Should we be shooting them? Dedrick said they're just like us.
I wouldn't start any shit with these raccoons. I wouldn't. You never been held up by gunpoint by a raccoon?
Can you imagine that? A raccoon just like, hey,
Now that you
give me your trash.
It doesn't take any time for you to imagine it. It takes zero time for you to imagine a raccoon with a gun. I guarantee you.
It did.
I guarantee. If they instead of making Planet of the Apes, they just had Planet of the Raccoons where they're just enslaving like people. They wouldn't make that movie. They were like, this can't sell because this can actually happen.
Right.
Literally, the week my family moved to America, my dad put a trap out in our backyard in Michigan, and we caught a raccoon. I'd never seen a raccoon before.
Yeah, exactly. They're
You didn't hear stories about it. They just be there.
It's because Eisenhower made a deal with the aliens to let raccoons be.
Because what you gonna say? There wasn't food back then.
We've always had
raccoons, like, what do
trash.
they naturally eat?
And they eat anything. They're like a human. Oh.
The longer you spend thinking about it, the more I'm right.
That's what I don't like about this.
Don't
And
see
then
them much
octopus-
because their daytime is nighttime.
So how are octopuses?
So they landed in the ocean because they obviously need salt water. So they came from a water-based planet. Because I think they came here with the dragons that are originally here.
Yeah.
Right? Because like that's why you can't go to Antarctica. Like you cannot go to Antarctica.
You can't.
You cannot go, right? And then there's like you can't fly over it. You can't do anything. It's more protected than Area 51. Like you cannot go to, and you can only go on the outskirts of Antarctica. There's a whole continent.
Wait, really?
Yes, you can't even fly over it
Even
because that's where
scientists?
they're holding the dragon.
Scientists.
You're telling me the dragons are in Antarctica?
Yes.
Right now.
There's one last dragon.
Right now, you guys ain't believe me, but by the fire hydrant, I seen somebody walk by and they disappeared by the tree. I know you think I'm fucking crazy. ¿Viste, güey? Iba pasando, someone was walking by, bro, and they just disappeared when they got by the tree.
Un guardia de seguridad se dirige al lugar donde su compañero
I'm serious,
asegura que vio
man.
algo.
There was a lady walking, and she just disappeared in the sidewalk.
Inspecciona el lugar, pero no ve a nada y a nadie.
What the fuck? I know you guys ain't believe me, but somebody walking by. ¿Qué pasó, güey? Oh, güey, mira. Ahí va saliendo. What the fuck? Mira. What the hell? Salió de un hoyo, güey, no mames. Mira. Ahí va. What the fuck? What is that? ¿Qué es eso, güey?
¿Sabes a quién se parece la viejita que camina?
Es la Llorona, güey. No mames. Mira. What the hell?
¿Sabes a quién se parece la viejita que camina?
Es la Llorona, güey. No mames. Mira. What the...
It's horrifying. What people call reality, it's all fake. This isn't going to be another YouTube video full of vague fluff. This is not a metaphor. This is reality being replaced layer by layer. There are 6 layers, and you've only seen the first one. Reality used to be grounded in direct experience. You lived through it. And now, reality is mediated. You don't experience events anymore. You experience coverage, pre-framed interpretations of ideas, avatars, personality, costumes, personas, and masks. A headline starts replacing understanding. A brand replaces identity. A political label replaces a human being. You're not living inside of reality. You're living inside of a symbolic layer. If symbols become dominant, truth becomes optional, because truth doesn't need to be accurate anymore. It just needs to be repeatable, emotionally charged, recognizable, and socially enforced. That is the simulation.
Understand politics, you think you understand political parties. You're all full of crap. You don't know what the Illuminati is. Is he Republican or you're Democrat? You're wrong! Why? It's this easy. It's called divide and conquer. That's why there's 2 parties and only 2. And they're controlled by the same people at the very top who belong to the Council on Foreign Relations, the Bilderberger Group. They also belong to the Trilateral Commission, and you people don't even know what the hell that is. But if you did know, you would know that these are the people that control your world by making global policies that you never vote on, and by which parties both serve and belong to these organizations and control your world. Now, here's how it works. Really easy. Divide and conquer can only work if the people that are divided are not aware of the falsely created division. If you're not aware of it, then it works. If you know about it, then it don't work no more. If you have socialism without capitalism, it becomes communism. If you have capitalism without socialism, it becomes fascism. And it's just that easy. I love you. That's all you need to know. That's why Masonic symbols are all over your freaking money. But you don't pay attention.
Man, that clip is so old, but that guy is so smart.
Here's a modern day phone. Recognize it? Here's a phone from 150 years ago. Big difference, right? Stay with me. Here's a car from today. And here's a car from 150 years ago. Big difference, right? Well, get this. Here's a classroom of today. And here's a class we used 150 years ago. Now ain't that a shame? In literally more than a century, nothing has changed. Yet you claim to prepare students for the future? But with evidence like that, I must ask, do you prepare students for the future or the past? I did a background check on you and let the record show that you were made to train people to work in factories, which explains why you put students in straight rows, nice and neat, tell them sit still, raise your hand if you want to speak, give them a short break to eat, and for 8 hours a day, tell them what to think. Oh, and make them compete to get an A. A letter which determines product quality, hence grade A of meat.
This is tap water, and we're going to show you how much chlorine is in tap water. We are going to use chlorinated drops. It's a clear liquid with a yellow cap, and this is chlorine, and we are going to see how much chlorine is in our tap water. Now, in this demonstration, we're going to show you how fast chlorine absorbs into your skin. They say that chlorine is proven to cause cancer. It also affects the endocrine system and also is the leading cause of asthma, eczema, psoriasis. So we want to eliminate chlorine. Now we're mimicking what happens in a shower or bath. take out our hand, do the same exact test. We're gonna stir that up. Where's the chlorine? It's in my hand.
This device
Wow.
exposed a $1 trillion industry, and this is a copper tongue scraper which was actually used all throughout the 1800s until it was removed by the Rockefellers from the dental industry because they found that copper was so antibacterial that no bacteria would survive in an individual's mouth, which then nearly put the $1 trillion dental industry out of business. But they also found that when you glide copper in your mouth, copper ions are exchanged into your mouth, which are charged, and humans are electrical beings which run off of electricity. Therefore, they found that by using copper tongue scrapers, one can enhance their frequency, which would then instantaneously heal that individual, which then perfectly explains why they tell us copper is toxic and why all of the tongue scrapers today are made from stainless steel.
Abortion is demonic, by the way.
Yeah.
Satan would kill God if he could, but he can't. So he kills babies because he knows it wounds the heart of the Father and causes chaos on the earth.
100%.
You see, abortion is actually the sacrament of Satan. Because abortion says you must die so I can live. But Christ says, no, I must die so you can live. And chooses to enter human history in a uterus of all locations to redeem mankind from their sins. That's why it uses the same holy words. This is my body, but with the opposite blasphemous meaning. Do you think it's a coincidence that the central phrase of the entire abortion industrial complex and the culture of death today are the same words of our Savior in the First Communion, this is my body? And because Planned Parenthood is not only the largest abortion provider in the world, they're the largest provider of transgender drugs. They call both of those mutilations healthcare. Did you know this? What do they call transgender surgeries? Gender affirming. What do they call abortion? Reproductive. Right. They call them both healthcare. And so if they can't get the babies in the womb, they'll get them outside the womb. They defend both practices using bodily autonomy arguments. This is not a body. It is not a coincidence that the argument for abortion is quoting the words of our Savior.
These Illuminati refer to their offspring in their publications as their children, their offspring. They refer to your offspring as kids. You have kids because you're just like a goat.
Sheeple.
You're sheeple.
We're being led like sheep to the slaughter. I don't know if you've ever seen sheep go to the slaughter, but they are generally led by a Judas goat. The Judas goat will bring them all the way up the ramp, and right before they drop the trap on the sheep, the Judas goat steps to the side.
When you understand that Europe dominated the world for almost 1,600 years and the Vatican dominated Europe, the Vatican dominated the old world order. Those banking families that were the Roman Catholic banking families of Europe were the powers of the world. They dominated the world. With the coming of America, America becomes known as the New World. Remember Columbus discovering the New World. When we hear the word New World Order, we're talking about a fraternal order of power, religion, money, operating out of the New World, America.
But a satanic, occultic, evil form of power.
The big picture, they want it all. They want to enslave your child, your wife, your mother. There isn't anything that you ever had. There isn't anything that you own. There isn't any right that you possess that they're not planning on taking away.
Did you know we can do this? Because we are X-Men, and if we take in enough iron from the sun, because we are people of the sun, we can control metal. But they're controlling all the iron, and iron is in the sun. If you can read, iron is in the sun. So let me show you something. Iron is very magnetic, highly magnetic. But watch this. They say iron is in the blood, very crucial mineral in the blood. But why does it say the human body does not produce iron? You see how they be lying? Because they know iron is very crucial and we need it from the sun. Now they say iron is in the air. Did you know iron is in the air? But then they say we don't directly breathe iron. Directly? What does that mean? They say we have to eat it. We have to eat it? No, it's in the air. Remember, it's highly magnetic. Neon plays a critical role in the sun by regulating the core energy to the outer layer like a magnet, in and out. So your body needs iron, neon, helium, hydrogen, carbon.
Things humans were never meant to see.
We are not in 2025. Month comes from the word moon, moonth. The moon has a 28-day moon cycle. 365 divided by 28 is 13. 13 lunar cycles every year, which means our calendar has a missing month, which means we don't know what year we're actually in. This is gonna blow your mind. The sky is a clock. The sun tells the time of the day. The moon tells the day of the month. The stars tell you the month of the year. The sky above our head is intelligent. Everything on earth is matter. Everything above us is spirit. That's why they're floating. They're not rocks you can land on. Gregorian calendar was made for slaves. Calendar comes from calends, the first day of the month the Romans had to pay off their debt. So what does all of this actually mean, and why did they do it? They made this fake calendar to cut off our connection with our celestial intelligence above and keep our mind, body and spirit out of rhythm with these cycles. We must live in harmony with the cycles above us. You can create abundance in your life with using the moon to your advantage. All of my students know this.
This is a big deal. This was designed. You think Chick-fil-A is designed for addiction? This was highly intentional. Phone in its settings tells you how far it has to be off of your body to prevent cancer. It tells you if you go to your settings to general, you scroll all the way down to legal and regulatory. Who knew this was in the BOWS? Do you see it? I'm in it. Legal and regulatory, click it. The very bottom one says RF exposure. That stands for radio frequency exposure. And then it tells you, mine is on the second paragraph. This must be 5 millimeter separation off of your body. It's about a pencil eraser. So they're covered when you get brain cancer because you put your phone to your head.
I always speak on speakerphone.
You bet you do. Distance is your friend with radio frequency, with electromagnetic fields. But they just came out with a study. It just literally, the further this is away from you, the better. We're seeing a higher rate of testicular cancer on young men because they put their phone. Get your phone out of your pocket. Get it away from your testicles.
That's crazy.
Yes. So back when these were smaller and women put them in their breast, we saw breast cancers the shape of that lithium battery in there. This is radioactive.
Things demons don't want you to know. They can't touch you unless you open a spiritual door.
That's true.
They fear believers who actually pray.
Also true.
They study your weaknesses daily.
Also true.
Your worship confuses and weakens them. They lose power the moment you confess sin. They can't read your mind, only your reactions. They flee when you speak scripture out loud. They work in silence, hoping you ignore them. Deliverance is easier than you think. They know their time is almost up. They hide behind emotional pain to stay unnoticed. They can be cast out by any believer with authority, not just pastors. They hate when you fast. It breaks their influence quickly.
They've literally trapped your star that was floating around in space. They've erased your memory like they do when you die and you go into the light. They recycle you and they erase your memory and place you back into an embryo. Listen to me, people. This is real shit. You need to wake the fuck up, okay? You're a star at your heart. You've been cubed, okay? Your kundalini is a trap. You're a free energy machine and you can't detect it. Now you're forced to take a shit, get horny, get hungry, get a pain in your heart, a frog in your throat. Your feet, where your souls are, okay? 2 below you, 3 above you. Listen, you can put this shit together, people. They rub a lot of stuff in your faces called lesser magic. It takes your blood off of their hands, all right? You've been worshiping Saturn along with everybody else. You take your energy from the one true sun and plant an animal, and then you feed it directly to the black hole sun. That's all you do, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You breathe Satan's chemical air. You drink his fluoridated water. You eat his poison-rich foods. And when I say Satan, I mean Saturn. Saturn is, obviously, there's a cult on Earth, and they've got us all worshiping Saturn.
The black cube.
The system wasn't built for you to win. You went to school to memorize facts you never use. You were trained to raise your hand, wait your turn, and follow instructions. Then they told you, get a job, work 40 hours a week, give half of it to tax, retire at 67 if you're lucky. That's not a life. That's a script. And most people don't question it because they're too tired from living it. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's when you realize freedom was never going to be handed to you. You have to build it. And that's why I teach digital products, because ownership is the only way out. No boss, no begging, no clocking. You move different when you know the system was never designed to serve you. It was designed to use you. Break the script.
You have nanobots and graphene oxide in your body, and they're using it to control your brain. Graphene oxide is the strongest, thinnest, and most conductive material known to man. It's been found in our air, food, water, and clothing. So you've got it in your body whether you like it or not. Here's a patent for them spraying it in the air for geoengineering purposes. And another article about using graphene for water treatment. Graphene oxide bonds with iron in our bodies and becomes magnetoprotein, which can remotely control neurons and behavior when exposed to an external magnetic force, for example, EMF frequencies like 5G and 6G. It both sends and receives signals. If you haven't noticed, most processed foods on the shelves contain heightened levels of iron. The reason is more nefarious than you might think. They're using this iron to make you easier to control and manipulate. This is why you can simply think of something and you'll have an ad pop up for it on your phone. Graphene can also read the contents of our genome, giving the people in power access to every single person's unique biological code. They tell us the truth in shows and movies, like in Solar Opposites, where they dump nanobots in the water supply. Or here in Big Hero 6, where they have self-assembling nanobots creating hexagonal structures, the same shape of graphene on a cellular level. So why are they doing this? Well, the end goal is a new world order. One government, one religion, one currency, one race, and one gender, all of which will be run by AI. Their final bid for control will be transhumanism, the merging of human beings with technology. The only surefire way to get rid of these substances is by regularly boosting your glutathione production. Glutathione supplements are trash because it can't enter your bloodstream in that form. The best ways to boost this powerful antioxidant are by taking fulvic or humic acid, magnesium bicarbonate, vitamin C, vitamin E, and NAD. You can eat foods like Brazil nuts, bone broth, garlic, broccoli, Brussels, beef liver, whey protein, and citrus. On top of all that, you should be regularly detoxing heavy metals using zeolite spray like Coseva TRS. This video isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to empower you. It's time to take back your humanity and exit the matrix.
I know where they're putting human body parts into the pig supply and the pork supply. The Reynolds family used to own 60% of all the crematoriums and moratoriums in the United States and funeral homes, and they would dispose of bodies that way too. Pig farms. Because a pig will dispose. A couple of pigs will dispose of a body in a few minutes, and then they feed that to the populace. Don't eat pig.
That you didn't raise yourself.
Could not strongly warn people against that enough. Parasites of hookworms are serious things. That's why a lot of Southerners are what Southerners are. Understand something. Southerners and a lot of their speech and their cadence and their rhythm, it's hookworms. 9 out of 10 times.
Really?
1 for 1, they are ruled by parasites. Detox them, their brains turn on, and they're sharp and capable communicators almost immediately.
Wow.
Tapeworms and hookworms come pouring out of them. But they were mostly fed pork diets. Whereas out west, you see a lot less of it. And in the north, because beef tended to be the predominant thing. Sheep before that, but beef tended to feed them a lot more often. And they're far less prone to feeding you the parasites. So something to consider. Change your life forever. Do a detox, man.
Well, I got like a whole freezer full of pork right now. Even the ones that I raised.
Bro, he gave us some instructions in the scriptures to try to keep us away from stuff that's definitely deadly. Pig is 100% an animal we know gets possessed by demons. Absolutely. The legions that come out of the two men, the demoniacs in the tombs, where do they go?
Pigs.
Straight into the pigs. And the pigs are fully possessed, total possession. Think about this. The power, the spiritual possession capacity of one man, two man, depending on which account you're in, filled a herd of pigs and it drowned them in the sea. That's because those spirits, when they lose their assignment on their target, they better bring a sacrifice back with them so they don't get their stinking lunch eaten by the higher principality that's ruling them. This is why swine and pork is so heavily warned about in the scriptures. Like, don't eat it. Don't eat it. When you abstain from these things, like my family and I just started trying to eat the way that the scripture said, like literally. And it was unbelievable how many of the lights turned on in our brains, you know, and like why it was valuable for us to try to find clean sourced food.
Wait, you haven't seen this?
That's him.
Parents are a pair who rents because you don't own your child.
This will blow you away. There is a secret hidden meaning in the Bible, and this is powerful. God likes to hide little Easter eggs in the Bible, and he just wants us to find them. And we're going all the way back to the book of Genesis, man. Genesis chapter 5. There are 10 names in Genesis chapter 5, 10 specific names. And here are those 10 specific names. These names were part of a genealogy.
So when I realized that I can see people, I said, let me hone in on my eyes. Let me train my eyes to the maximum power. Why would you not train your eyes if you're a seer? It's only right you access your third eye. That's the reason why you can see people. One thing I want y'all to be careful about is when you awaken, yo, it's going to be a bunch of people around you trying to stop your ascent. That's how you know you're doing the right thing. So when
have you ever seen anything like that?
I mean, would it be fair to say that there's an element of a rediscovery of a lost technology from the past?
I think it would be fair to say that. There's no moving parts. It's all based on geometry, pure geometry. And here's the basic idea, as I think I understand it at this point. Resonance frequencies. Everything vibrates. Have you ever, like if we had an electric razor, we plugged it in, turned it on, set it on this table, it's going to move around, isn't it? You ever seen that?
Yeah.
That's the beginning of the concept because it's vibrating. Everything vibrates at a frequency, and if you know that frequency, you can control things. And I think that's the basic idea of what we're looking at here. And it's all based upon the ancient numbers.
They won't tell you that on the bill that they send you every month, they're supposed to have a legend. They won't tell you that in order for you to pay a debt or in order for a bill to be a bill, it had to be a negative number and have the negative symbol on there. So with that being said, they won't also tell you that all of your bills are an error. It is a billing error. And you may ask yourself, how do I go about this properly? So before I tell you how to go about it properly, I'm going to tell you the laws that you can look up on your own. 12 CFR 1026.13 is the billing error resolution, where it's going to talk about how to resolve billing errors. And number 2, you want to go to 1666B, which is going to talk about the treatment of credit card balances. Now, I bring up these laws so that you can look them up yourself. But just to put in perspective of what these laws are, it's going to talk about how to properly communicate with debt collectors about the bill, and more importantly, how to properly dispute it, what to ask for, what to expect, written right there. And using the administrative process, you can put together a collection of presentments to enforce the removal of the billing error so that you won't have to pay.
That's cool.
Bless means be less you. A soldier is a soul dyer. You are weakened on the weekend. From the weekdays. Days is unable to think in a state of confusion. On the weekdays you work a job, which is Hebrew for persecuted. On that job you earn. An urn is a vessel for the ashes of the dead. Awake is a wake. A wake is a gathering that takes place before a funeral. Hollywood is the holy wood, the wood from a holly tree. This wood was used to create magic wands. They cast spells to a broad audience through the tele-vision, through the Hollywood programs. The bottom of the foot is called the soul, and your heel is hell. Your soul is in hell. You must raise your consciousness to the head, heaven. Heel is hell, earth rearranged is heart, and head is heaven. They're inside of you, not external places. They teach you to say the vowels in this order, A-E-I-O-U, to train you to become a slave. They want you to think slaughter is laughter. The English language is full of hidden spells. During my free Telegram chat.
Did you know how I figured it out? What's 1 times 1?
1 times 1 is 1.
To multiply means to do what?
To make more, right?
Yes.
Increase in number?
Yes.
Multiply?
Yes.
How can 1 times 1 equaling 1 be part of the multiplication table? It fails to satisfy the term multiply. It doesn't multiply. Does it? What's an action times an action?
You got some weed.
No, I'm asking you. Honestly, I'm asking reason. I want you to reason.
I don't know.
What's an action times an action? A
Reaction. Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Have you ever seen an action times an action without a reaction? Have you? No. Because equanimity is the currency of the universe. There's always an action times a action having a reaction. So how can 1 times 1 equal 1? How can A times B just be A?
Wow.
And not B? What happened to consequence?
Terrence, these are late night conversations.
Yeah.
These are
They are.
This is the beginning of our understanding. It should fit. What kind of calculator you got? What kind of phone you got?
iPhone?
Okay, go to your calculator.
Whatever the new one.
No, go to your calculator. Go to your calculator.
All right. Go to
Go to your calculator.
Yeah, I got
you. You got iPhone?
What are we doing?
I want both of y'all to do 2 separate things. I want to do the same thing to start with. Turn it to the side.
Okay.
All right, now I want you to both hit the number 2. Did the whole calculator show up?
Hit number what?
Hit the number 2.
Two.
Go to the square root. It is the second column from the left, 3rd row. They'll have that square thing.
All right.
You
1.4.
1.41421356237095.
Holy
now
crap.
I want you two to do 2
He's
separate
good.
things now. 2 separate things. I want you to multiply it by 2. Hit times 2 equal. Don't you do it.
Okay.
And I want you to hit x to the 3rd. X to the 3rd. It's going to be
Times 3?
no x to the 3rd.
Oh, X. Oh, okay. I see it.
X to the 3rd.
Yeah, I got you. All right. 1.1.
No, you didn't hit x to the 3rd.
Yes, I did.
If you hit x to the 3rd.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
So
I
go
did.
back again.
Okay,
You
so
keep
now.
yours where you are.
Yeah, I'm
2,
good. 2
square root,
square root.
and hit x to the 3rd.
2.82.
2.828, 4271, 2174, 6190. The same value you got
Yeah.
by multiplying it by 2.
Yeah.
And he just cubed it. Divide it by 2 again. Both of y'all. Divide
it by 2.
No, divide by 2. Hit equal. Now, cube it again. Hit x to the 3rd.
Yeah.
You see that loop?
Yeah.
That's saying x cubed is equal to 2x, which is equal to x plus x. That's an unnatural equation. That's a mathematical fallacy. That's the beginning of your math. That's
Wow.
how I invented tangential flight, because you're mad. Someone programmed that lie in there and lied to you and everyone. And
When America tries to say this person, that person is a dictator, that person is a dictator, the first question you need to ask is, what is it that that country has that America needs? That's the first question you need to ask them. America is the biggest oil junkie in the world. Okay. America owes so many countries money, it's insane. It's really insane. So whenever she's talking about other countries and saying these are terrorists, see, you go to another nation that didn't invite you. Right. You try to have negotiations and tell them, listen, give us your oil, diamonds, etc. We'll have some negotiations. And they say, well, no, we don't want you to have that. You go to another one. And America says, oh, okay, cool. So America leaves, and what do? They send in agents through the CIA. They assassinate the leadership after they use the media in that country to turn the people against the leader of that country. Then it's called a coup. They assassinate the leader, and they prop up someone who was a CIA agent who they have trained to be the new person to run for the leadership of that country, put him in place, and then they have free access to the wealth that they already were trying to get in the first place. This is called a coup. America's been doing it for a very long time. They have murdered and assassinated leaders all across the planet. America is a gangster, brother. I mean, a real one. They feel like money is their God. They'll say God with their mouth, but they'll show God with their money. God meaning G-O-D, gold, oil, and drugs. Okay? That's their God. Gold, oil, and drugs. That's their God.
Your Majesties, Your Royal Highnesses, Excellencies, dear laureates, ladies and gentlemen. This year, the Nobel Committees in Physics and Chemistry have recognized the dramatic progress being made in a new form of artificial intelligence that uses artificial neural networks to learn how to solve difficult computational problems. This new form of AI excels at modeling human intuition rather than human reasoning, and it will enable us.
We all know reptilians are controlling the world, but now what's the solution? Now we're about to dive deep.
So it said that bells were removed all over the world because the frequencies they emitted interfered with vibrational patterns or frequencies that reptilian shapeshifters relied upon to disguise themselves as humans. People, you see, reptilians use a certain frequency to hide from us, and we can't see past the light, the vibration of the light. We only see 10% of what's going on. There's like a whole shit ton of shit going on that we can't see with our plain eyesight. The bells release a certain sound that doesn't allow them to stay in their shape. Literally, bells were everywhere all over the world, and not just regular bells, huge ones, certain type of metal, like it let off a certain sound that literally could heal your body and heal the planet. Again, thousands of these bells were removed from Europe. Why? They also showed us in movies.
I could see something to that. I know I've seen a couple old bells, like really old bells, and they always have like a really big tear or like a big chunk taken out of them. And like, that's not an easy thing to do with like something that thick and strong. So yeah, I don't know. There's definitely a reason why they all have the same big crack or chunk taken out of them, and yeah, I could see something there.
What would happen to your body if you started drinking from a copper cup every day? Drinking from copper is not the same as drinking from plastic or glass or even stainless steel. There is something extremely powerful and unique about copper. The first point is that copper is antibacterial. So when you leave water inside a copper vessel for a few hours, the copper will completely purify and restructure the water, completely destroying harmful bacteria like E. coli. But also, copper water is charged water, because when you leave water to rest in copper, copper ions are absorbed into the water, which are actually electrically charged. And humans are electrical beings which run and function off of electricity. Therefore, when a person would drink copper water, it's essentially charging or instantaneously healing their electric bodies. But the main reason is that the copper mineral is actually absorbed into the water. And the copper mineral is actually vital for boosting your immune system and even your gut health, which is why hospitals all throughout the 1800s would have copper cups. And it's another reason why all of the billionaires use copper pipes.
This is very real. The spiritual realm is very real. God answers this woman's prayer in the most skin-crawling way.
When my husband passed away, he passed away in a car crash. My husband passed away in a car crash. I had just got the news. The police were at my house. I was hysterically, uncontrollably, inconsolably crying my eyes out, screaming, calling anyone I could. And I called his mom. And his mom, verbatim, word for word, as God is my witness, said, "Ugh, you pray too much. You pray too much. It was supposed to be you. You pray too much. We have been taking your pictures to witch doctors and covens, but you pray too much." That's what my husband's mother said to me in reaction to me telling her that her son had just passed in a car accident.
More evidence that God is real.
Wow.
An evil force in this world. You cannot have darkness without light. Darkness is the absence of light. You cannot have evil without good. Evil is the absence of good. Trust Jesus and you'll be on the winning side.
That's Caleb Mandrake. He was a skull the day he was born.
That's Frank.
Who's Frank?
He's 6 foot tall bunny rabbit.
Who's gonna kill?
Alright, I want to talk about something a little deeper today. I recently got asked a question that honestly stopped me for a second. What do you believe happens after death? Not in a debate way, not in a prove-it way, but in a genuinely curious, searching way. And I realized I've never really laid this out fully. So this isn't me trying to convince anyone. This is just me explaining where I've landed after years of reading, studying, questioning, and honestly doubting. For most of my life, I didn't just stick to one lane. I've studied theology, not just Christianity, but comparative religion. I've read into demonology, ancient belief systems, esoteric texts, occult material, and at the same time, I've always had my nose buried in science, physics, cosmology, philosophy, consciousness. I wasn't trying to prove God, I was trying to understand reality. What actually makes sense when you zoom out and compare everything? And the conclusion I kept coming back to, even when I didn't want to, is that Christianity has it mostly right, not the surface level cultural version, not the version used for control or politics, but the deeper framework, the idea that there is a creator, that creation fractured, and that the creator entered creation at one point, not as a conqueror, but as proof, as an anchor, as truth made physical. When you compare that idea to everything else, simulations, higher dimensions, multiple realms, near-death experiences, it actually fits shockingly well, especially when physics itself hints at layered realities but can't quite cross that final line. So what do I believe happens after death? I believe there is a better realm, a higher state of existence, and access to it isn't random. It's about alignment, belief, acceptance of truth, not perfection, alignment, and if that alignment isn't there, I don't necessarily believe hell is always fire and pitchforks. I think hell is separation. And sometimes hell might look like being sent back into a broken reality, a world that continues to decay, repeat, and fracture. In that sense, what people call reincarnation could simply be returning to a version of reality that has become its own form of hell. I want to pause here for a second because I didn't arrive at this lightly. Over the years, I've studied a lot of material: theology, occult texts, philosophical works, historical accounts, and scientific writing. Here next to me, I have a few of the books I've studied and taken notes for that I could recommend. I'll probably include a list on the screen for easy viewing. I will note that I don't fully recommend a couple of these books. They send you down rabbit holes that lead to nowhere, so take those with a grain of salt. Here are some of my notebooks full of notes I've taken over the years. Some of these books contradict each other. Some of them are uncomfortable. Some of them I don't even fully agree with. But when you line them all up side by side, a pattern starts to emerge. And that pattern kept pointing me back to the same conclusion. I don't claim to have all the answers. I don't think anyone does. But when I combine faith, history, science, and human experience, this is the only explanation that's ever truly held together for me. If you disagree, that's okay. If you're questioning, that's okay too. Curiosity is how truth finds you.
Man, so like him, I used to be anti like God and Jesus. I thought it was all just for weak-minded people who needed to feel special and important of why they were here. And then as I started going down the rabbit holes, everything started leading to the same thing, and it's so apparent to me now that they're clearly trying to hide God and Jesus. Like it's crazy. Like it's literally crazy that like our whole entire existence is built off of lies, and once you discover it's so obvious. Yet there's still so many people who are completely blinded to it. And I get it too, because like I used to be one of them, but like this day and age, it's all the information's there. It's right in your face. And you have to choose not to see it. That's the thing. But they got everybody so busy that like, you know what I mean? Like people are tired after work that they just, I'll just watch the news because they can tell me what I need to know. But that's the thing. It's like you can't trust that stuff.
You need to watch this.
It seems I have taken myself down a very large rabbit hole because I just came across a TikTok that said the Bible tells you how to heal yourself from all sickness and diseases, Matthew 17:21. So, me, naturally the Bible reading obsession woman that I am, I turn to Matthew 17:21 to read it in the Bible that I read every day. It's not here. It goes from Matthew 17:20 to Matthew 17:22. 21's not in here. There's not a number 21 in here.
I'm a Bible collector. We're about to find out right now if there's any truth to this because I have plenty to check. So I already grabbed a few and opened them up. So what I'm interested in is like, who is the publisher and why is this happening? So all of these were purchased at Goodwill. This one is Gideon's and we're in 17 and there is a 21. Same thing with this one, same with the Gideon's, and there is 17, 21, but this kind never comes out except by prayer and fasting. So those were yeses, but again by the same, published or printed by the same company. Now these are 3 of the other ones that I just grabbed. I haven't opened the other ones yet, but this one, see, I thought maybe it was a date thing, you know, maybe in like older versions it did have it and then newer versions, but some of these Bibles I have are pretty old, which means that if this was an intentional decision, this decision was made a long time ago to edit, remove, or hide that verse from the Bible. So let's see here, we are in 17, and it goes from 20 to 22. Interesting. Okay. This one was the Zondervan. Okay, next, going into this one, NIV, 17, and we are looking for, we go from here, 20 to 22. Next Bible. $20 to 22. What's going on?
So these are real stadiums from around the world, from an aerial viewpoint. And you have to wonder, if signs and symbols rule the world, what type of symbols are these stadiums? Now, that almost looks like a reptile's eye. And we have, of course, the ancient symbolism of the all-seeing eye. And you got to wonder, because didn't they say bread and circuses? If you want to stop the masses from revolting, you got to give them bread and circuses. So not only are they giving you bread and circuses in here, but also it's a massive, likely ritual football stadium. Now, my thing is this: while we have crazy things going on around the world, we have agendas afoot, we have all types of stuff going on, and people are spending their lives living vicariously through people they've never met, throw balls around in the field. Look, I get it, you're going to roast me, you're going to say, no man, I love my baseball. But when you are truly awake, you know what's going on in the world. You see how much of a distraction it is.
And it's all scripted.
Bread and circuses. Not to mention when they have a big performance, like major celebrities performing in there, and there's all these like red lights, and it looks demonic. I mean, this is a ritual. Make no mistake. Comment your thoughts below and follow for more.
My bro is a real life waterbender. So clean, strong. Look at that consistency.
Wow.
Take a close look at this guy. He's in a maximum security prison in Westchester with some of the most dangerous criminals in the state. His bail's been set at almost $1 million, but he's not a murderer. He's not a rapist or a drug dealer. Believe it or not, the reason this guy's behind bars is because of these apricot seeds. Yup, apricot seeds. And it's what he says these seeds can do that has landed him in jail.
All I want to do is help. I want to heal. I want to bring out the truth.
His name is Jason Vale.
It's in the food. It's in the seed. Let me take back the word cure. I don't want to be in trouble for saying the word cure, which you can't say.
There's a company called Porta Johns. Porta Johns is the biggest porta potty company in the United States of America. They have a subsidiary company called Enzymes of America. When I say they, I'm talking about the pharmaceutical industry. You know where Enzymes of America gets their enzymes from? They have a contract with Porta Johns. Porta Johns gathers all the pee. They then put it through a process to get and isolate the enzyme, one being urokinase. You cannot patent something that occurs naturally in nature. So they take urokinase, they then mix it with a bunch of synthetic garbage. That's the drug that they're giving you, and they're basically selling you your own urine back to yourself, only under the disguise of a patented drug. But if they allowed you as a human being to understand what I just said, then people would have free medicine, and they can't have that.
In other words, this is a war not just for Iran. This is a war not just for the Middle East. It is a war for the soul of humanity. World War III is meant to be the last and final war of all human history. Because whoever wins this war will control the very soul of human existence. The game that you think they're playing is not the game they're playing. The reward that you think they want is not the reward that they want, okay? We think in terms of material things, okay? So money, resources, power. We think that the war is being fought over these things, and it's not. The real power, the real currency, human consciousness. This war is being fought to control the consciousness of the human race, because it is our consciousness that creates reality itself. That's the source of all wealth and all power in this world. Okay? That's why this is happening.
Okay.
You should cut that list out.
Your reputation is you like to text underage girls, sending pictures of your dangling. That's your reputation. Whatever you do, you can't do anything about it. Bill Clinton officiated your wedding with Puma, your wife, if I'm not mistaken. Correct. So you've been very close, and she was a right-hand person to Hillary Clinton in 2016 while the scandal was taking place.
For years before that, she was with Hillary for 20 years.
Email 650,000. One folder with the word life insurance and the files that are in there. So 9 out of 12 cops, NYPD, who saw the email and saw what was in that laptop, committed suicide. And the most ever that this took place, and these are the men that committed suicide. First thing I ask myself is, how the hell is Anthony Weiner still alive? Well, when you go through the list of people that have been close to Hillary Clinton and the Clintons, this is not a conspiracy. You got the names of James McDougal, died of an apparent heart attack. Mary Mahoney, a former White House intern, was murdered July 1997 at a Starbucks coffee shop. Victor Razor, you got Ed Woolley. It's 46 names.
You know about how birth control's in all water now? I didn't know that. There's a bunch of stuff that's poisoning us that we should be really concerned about right now. So there's birth control in the water. Yeah. One, Alex Jones was right about the atrazine and what it does to frogs.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Two, there's a bunch of other stuff that's probably androgenizing us that's not good.
What was the birth control thing again?
Yeah, so when women take hormonal birth control, they then urinate, that goes into the water system. A lot of cities recycle their water, but we don't have any specific filtration mechanism for those hormones, so they just get recycled and pumped back into the municipal water supply.
So is this like a significant amount of birth control in the water?
Yes.
And there's an infertility problem?
Yes.
How does it affect males, do you know?
It makes you more asexual. So it makes you less of a guy and more of a sort of, I don't know, like the way that most guys are now.
The way that most guys are now. Yeah. I've heard so many conspiracies about the chemtrails, and I've heard that they're spraying estrogen in the air to...
Well, let me tell you something, though.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
So, the material that we use, it freezes the liquid in cloud into snowflakes that fall, right? Pure testosterone. It's not as effective, but it's almost as effective as silver iodide. So, if we really want to make America healthy again...
We'll all be showered in testosterone.
I can make that happen.
How do you activate the superconscious mind? Here is the most powerful of all. We call this the master method of activation. It is called solitude. You activate the superconscious mind with solitude. How do you use solitude? We call this go into the silence. Go and sit down quietly by yourself for 30 to 60 minutes. 30 to 60 minutes. Most people in our society have never sat quietly for 30 to 60 minutes in their entire lives. Yet I will tell you this method works 100% of the time. That any problem that you have, any difficulty, any challenge, any goal that you want to accomplish, if you'll go into the silence and sit quietly and then listen to the still small voice within. This is the key. You will find that at a certain point, probably at about 25 to 30 minutes, your mind will go completely clear, and then a flow of ideas will start to flow into your mind. You'll feel energy welling up inside you, and at a precise moment, as you sit there in complete silence, no cigarettes, no coffee, no music, nothing, just complete silence, at a particular moment, the mind will go clear, and wham, exactly the answer you need will come at exactly the right time. And if you will get up and go and carry out that answer, it will turn out to be exactly perfect.
Bunch of white nationalists push Christianity down your throat.
Christianity was in Africa before Europe. Whoa, did you hear that? The Ethiopian Bible is older than the King James Bible. Thank you. That's exactly right. The argument that colonialism brought Christianity to Africa is completely wrong. Why is it completely wrong? Because
what is that? Did you see how it went through it? Oh, I want to get the. Where is that shit at? Where's it at? Tesla.
It's in the office. What is that? Is that a rocket? But what is it?
It doesn't look. It looks literally, and it's just all on fire. You feel me? That's too much. You're doing it on night for a reason. You hear me? And you just say you saw a shooting star a second ago?
No, that was the shooting star.
That you thought?
Yeah.
And it's still going up?
Uh-oh, it's gonna fall.
No. That's actually crazy. Is it not?
It just disappeared.
Probably out of here by now, babe. It done went into a whole nother... But
oh, I see.
Still moving. It's still going up right now. Is that not crazy? You see it moving?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Oh yeah, that's the firmament.
Baby, am I high, bro?
Always looks like water.
I'm scared. It looks like it's coming down.
What the fuck is that?
It looks like it's coming down.
Bro, please tell me I'm high, bro. Like, am I high?
What the fuck?
Alright, come on. Let's go.
What is that?
I don't know, but
The best way to hide something is to not hide it at all. So we're in Plaza Castilla right now in Madrid, and it's really cool because people walk by this every single day and they don't know because they don't see the hidden Masonic symbolism here. So it's actually really cool. So in the first temple period, King Solomon, David's son, he was instructed to build 2 columns outside the temple, Boaz and Hakim, okay? To this day, every single Masonic temple is required to have 2 columns outside the entrance. Now, if you're a city of consequence, you will have obelisks, right? Now, the thing you're supposed to do with obelisks is you're supposed to have them situated on top of 2 intersecting circles, or known as a Vesica Pisces. Why? Because the Vesica Pisces looks like a gyat, like the front end of a gyat, right? So it's a sex symbol. It's basically telling you this is the birth of something. Now, you have the birth of something, you have the entrance to something, right? So what is that behind this? This is the business district of Madrid. So it's telling you they're open for business. It's really cool. Another thing, very Masonic, you will see checkered patterns, black and white. So I'm going to jump as high as I can right now and show you something.
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
Wait, I've seen this before.
I do not, and don't you ever say I did. We wrestle not.
Mark Zuckerberg? Really strange. This 19-year-old guy drops out from Harvard and founds Facebook, okay? And now he's a billionaire. How does that happen, guys? Well, it must be the American dream. Oh, ChatGPT, guys. Really strange. If you have a dream and you just follow it, you can become a billionaire in America. Yeah. It's all just a scam, right? Google, it's all just a scam, okay? What you need to understand about these companies is they were all founded with US military technology that is public, okay? The internet, it's a US military technology. Google, the search engines, it's all US military technology. And they were given to these guys for free. Why would they do that?
Okay, there we go. Go. Nice.
Make you question reality entirely. Recently, skywatchers from around the world have been uploading videos. When they looked up, they saw neither clouds nor airplanes, but actual trains suspended high in the sky. Some say it's merely light refraction, while others claim it's a secret government transportation experiment. But regardless of the explanation, everything in the footage is crystal clear. It resembles a high-speed...
If you come to the devil, you know you want to sell your soul for some you know you don't need to have right now. Or if you really, really, really wanted that kidney, or you really, really, really wanted to go over here to what is it, Dubai or whatever. You really wanted a new life. You went through certain channels to get that life.
Yeah.
You knew what the consequences was.
Do people though?
Yes, they do. That's his whole game. It's to make sure you know what you're gonna do. Right now is the time for righteousness, bro. Some people really, really play the game of, okay, well, I'm gonna look at this face and I'm gonna ask all these questions, but at the same time, I really don't even have to ask all these questions. I need to ask other questions. You see what I'm saying? We can't go back. We can only go forward after everything that we've already done. Every time you wake up, you choose to be good or you choose to be bad. That's me too. We all in this room have a choice to wake up and be good or be fucked up. I try my best to not be fucked up based off of the fact that I know I have boundaries. regardless of what has happened to me, regardless of what's been done to me, I have to be a child of God. That's why I'm not allowed in certain rooms. That's why I'm not allowed to touch people. I'm not allowed to hug people. I'm not allowed to kiss people. I'm not allowed to have sex. I'm not allowed to see my family. I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed, bro.
Who's not allowing?
I'm not allowed. This is not. Nah, don't go there. I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to. They're not ready. No, spiritually, they're not ready to deal with me. I have to seclude myself. Do you have the power to seclude yourself?
So you're moving yourself away from.
Do you have the power to seclude yourself?
So you're saying you willingly moved your way.
I have to make sure that my peace is protected, my brother. There's everyone watching me every single moment when I think they're not.
Yesterday, Congressman Massey and I went to the Department of Justice to read the unredacted Epstein files. We spent about 2 hours there, and we learned that 70 to 80% of the files are still redacted. In fact, there were 6 wealthy, powerful men that the DOJ hid for no apparent reason. When Congressman Massey and I pointed this out to the Department of Justice, they acknowledged their mistake, and now they have revealed the identity of these 6 powerful men. These men are...
Oh, shit! Oh!
Salvatore Navora, Zorab Mikoladze, Leopig Leonor, Nicola Caputa, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, CEO of Dubai Ports World.
Oh my God!
And billionaire businessman Leslie Wexner, who was labeled as a co-conspirator.
That's kind of awesome.
No, I'm good. Please don't fall. I don't want to be stuck up here.
Here we go. Ready?
Oh my God.
Take a video.
Okay. Ugh.
Ready?
Show me, he's like, why do you think the Illuminati stuff is there, right? The New World Order, right? And this was 3 months ago. He said, in a year and a half, the New World Order is going to happen. He was like, and he was like, but keep an eye on Mexico. It's going to get worse there than anything else. He said that. I don't know why he said that. He said, this was 3 months ago. He said, in a year and a half, it's going to get worse in Mexico. Second, he took the $20 bill, he crumbled it, kind of crumbled it in a wave, like folded it, and you see the World Center collapse. I'm not making this up. I don't know how he did it. He crumbled it, and it's the World Center, and you can see the World Center just falling. And then there's numbers on there, and then there's a reason why there's that Illuminati. And I asked him, I said, is Illuminati real? He said, oh, 100%. These are elites. Yeah, 100%. And I'm going all over what he said. I'm going to cover this now, where he's just like, I asked him, like, what's one of the most bizarre inventions?
So you gotta be 16 to drive a car, 18 to be considered an adult, and 21 to drink alcohol. But for the low price of $19.95, your 8-year-old can talk to demons.
Who's jealous of Adele? Beyonce. Beyonce feels overshadowed by Adele. Knows that she can't compete.
Is suffering from dementia and aphasia. Says aphasia is impacting Wendy's language and communication abilities.
Danger Mouse.
Hi. As you can see, it took an army to make me strong and willing again to do it. And I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. And I'm very humbled and I'm very grateful and gracious. But my artist of my life is Beyonce. This album for me, the Lemonade album, was just so monumental, Beyonce. So monumental.
Wait, you haven't seen this?
That's
him.
Guess who's jealous of Adele?
Alright, so I got it completely wrong. The Simpsons predicted nothing and planned everything. Watch this.
Let's time to take your power back. Thank you, and I love you.
All right. If you've made it all the way to the end, thank you. I appreciate you. I'm going to wrap it up for today, but I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.